What's going on, y'all? That boy Gam tapping in one more time. I just wanted to talk to y'all about something today real quick. So a lot of people ask questions when you tell them you a musician or you write songs or anything like that, singer, whatever. If you're a writer, basically, people ask like, how do you come up with that? Sometimes I know if y'all artists, writers, or whatever, authors, whatever, people probably asked you this before, like, how you come up with that, or what made you think of that, you know? And when people ask me that question, I look at it, I had to think about it, and I'm like, you know what? I really don't think. In a way, I really don't think of these ideas, and I'm gonna explain to you what I mean when I say that. The point of it is, most of the time, you just sitting around doing something, and an idea just come. It just like just pop up in your brain. You know what I'm saying? And you start to like it, and but did you really think of this? Did you really like, it's different when you really sit down and you trying to write. You sitting down in front of a pad and paper and you really in the writing, mode. You can think of something to write in that way, but usually that's not the best ones. You usually get the best ones when you really just sitting and all of a sudden you just think about something. You like that idea, but you might have been watching TV, you might have been just doing something out, whatever, at the club, wherever you might be, and you just think of something. You just look at something and it's like, you just got some idea. That's usually how it happens, right? So, I remember back when I was still living in Cleveland, Ohio, I had went to a car dealership, and I met a guy who used to be one of the songwriters for the Temptations. He worked with them on some of their songs or whatever. He did some stuff with a few other people, but old school dude. And I was talking to him about music because I told him I was a musician, and he said something that was pretty interesting. He like, man, you know what though, like, the ideas, they don't come from us and they don't belong to us. It's like we are just like a radio station that's getting a signal from somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like the signal is coming down, and you, as a musician or author, writer, whatever, you are like a channel for this. So you get the signal. But just like with any other stations in this type of way, you're not the only one who can get this idea. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like you got to have yourself open to receiving these signals, because they are coming and they need to be said. But the thing is, if you don't say it, if you ever been thinking about an idea for a while, and then all of a sudden you see it on TV, somebody took the same idea you got because you didn't make it fast enough or something. The same idea that you just had, it show up right there on the TV, and you be like, hey man, that was the same thing I was gonna do, or this idea, this and this and that. It seemed like it always happened. But that's the whole point. Like, if you don't use it, somebody else will, because this idea really don't belong to you. It didn't come from you, it came through you in a way. You know what I'm saying? If you are following what I'm saying. So what I started to think about and started to practice is just becoming better at catching the ideas. You know what I'm saying? Instead of saying like, oh, I created this idea, like, yeah, but just on the humble side, you know how they always talk about having a muse or whatever, but you gotta treat it right. You get cocky, you stop getting those signals. That's what I believe. And you just gotta start to be good at capturing those ideas when when you catch them. You gotta set your mind, set yourself up like, okay, I'm looking for ideas now. That's, same what I do. I don't always, like, I'm not always thinking like, oh, I'm in writer mode right now. But when I really want to work on something, I just basically put myself open to having ideas come to me. When they come, I gotta realize them. Just know that it's a good idea, catch it, and save it. That's what I do. I get an idea of something, even if it's just one sentence or 2 words or a phrase, always put it down, write it down, put it on a voice message, something to keep it. It's just like capturing the ideas, but you gotta use them. You gotta use them pretty fast, or you might see somebody else use it before you. Another thing that kind of goes into that is that, see, I was reading a part of this book. It was called The Awakening of Intelligence. I forgot the name of the writer, but it was a guy. He was like from India, like a real guru type of guy. If y'all know the book that I'm talking about, you can put it in the comments or something. But he said that the brain is at its smartest point when you say, I don't know. You say like, I don't know something, right? And what I mean is like, when you say, somebody might ask you a question or you might be trying to remember something, right? Say you're trying to remember something and you thinking so hard and you can't remember it. You thinking so hard. And then at some point you give up, right? You give up, and then who knows, later on that day, maybe the next day, it just pop up like boom, just there, what you was thinking about. And you're like, that's what it was. You wasn't even trying anymore. You wasn't even thinking about it no more. But all of a sudden it just come to you. You know what I'm saying? You stopped, but your brain didn't. Your brain never stopped working on it. It's like it's smarter than we think we are. Like, like you might say, I give up, but your brain is already set to go find that answer. And it will find that answer and bring it to you when it gets it. You don't even remember it anymore, and then it just comes to you. So that's another thing, like how it's like you don't really always have to do so much work. When you force something, it's usually not your favorite things. You forced it. You feel, when you force something. And another thing is also what makes an artist a real good artist. I also heard this is that you have to have good taste. Like what makes you is a combination of all the things you like. So basically, as an artist, you also have to, go with your taste and what you like, because this is what makes you you. This is your opinion. So it's like if somebody else say they like something that I did, but if I don't like it, it's not going to make me continue to do things that way, because I got to be true to what I like. I trust my taste. My taste is what got me, everything so far. So it's like, as an artist, go with your own taste, man. That's what makes you who you are. But that's all I want to say about that for today. I ain't gonna go too far into it, but just something to think about if you're a writer. And y'all go ahead. Matter of fact, check my links out. They're gonna be in the description. My album, Hill Boy, my single, Organic, my videos, timeline video, going global video, and more things to come. So Power Up video on the way. So y'all check that out. Go to my links. Till next time, y'all again.